Was crack-a-lackin' mother truckers? Welcome to the show. I'm Josh Moody. That's John Batanti, and this is Algorithm versus the Experts.
What up?
John's been winning for a couple of weeks,
That's right.
and then I stopped writing down who was winning, and I caught up.
You did.
It was neck and neck for a week, and then John stomped me the week after that, and now he's up by like 4.
Got 2 months left in the year though. It's pretty close. I thought it'd be up by like 20 ticks by now, honestly.
Really? I thought I was gonna smash you. I thought there was no way you were gonna keep up. The fact that it's neck and neck, flabbergasted.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I thought I would just pull away like incrementally, like and thing, but you've had some remarkable like upset picks and things and like things. So it's been pretty good. It's been pretty fun for the whole year. It's been almost a whole year.
It has been. We started in like April.
Did we miss that? Did we start in April? Okay.
Something like that. I forget exactly. It might have been May, but it was something like that.
Yeah, UFC London, I think the first one we started on.
UFC London.
Aspinall and Volkov, I think that's where we started.
Oh yeah. With Hooker and Arnold Allen.
Yep.
Gunnar Nelson. Oh yeah.
Boom.
Nikita Krylov, Jack Shore, Mohaev. Yeah, all of these people have fought again.
Like twice.
All of the people on this card have fought at least once more. Maybe not every single one of them. I don't know about Vargas.
Yeah.
Cody Durden fights every 8 weeks. Anyways, what's new and exciting, John? You got anything for me?
It's new and exciting. No, I don't think I have. I have nothing to share right now. I think I can share more deeper as we get into this breakdown. I don't think this is a bad card. I think we got a pretty bad card last week. I did catch some fights. And I saw some replays of some fights after, but I was watching the World Series and other stuff, so I didn't get to see all this fight. But I think this card's better. There's some fights I'm looking forward to on this card. Ready for it. Kick things off with Ramona Pasquale, I think making her third UFC appearance against UFC newcomer Timatis Vidal, stepping in from Brazil. Yeah, so Vidal. What's that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, wow. It just went like you just spoke. Like the whole thing went crazy. Wow. All right, so that must be my feed. Sorry. So Pasquale, this is going to be her third appearance in the UFC. She took a fight on short notice as a huge underdog and held her own. Then she got a fight against Joseline Nunes and lost a unanimous decision. She won a round, but she lost the unanimous decision. She just refused. I think she got leg kicked 7 zillion times in that fight and just never checked them. It's just not part of her game. Tamaris Vidal. So she's coming in against, this is a very low level fight. If you watch any footage of Tamaris Vidal, I struggle to find out what she does well and how she got here. Even though she's 7-1, her striking is extremely unimpressive. Her wrestling and grappling isn't that great either, but she does find submission victories. But Ramona Pasquale doesn't do a lot well either. But what she does do well is she's very thick. She has good takedown defense, and she's strong in the clinch. She can land some elbows and knees from the clinch, and she does throw volume. So Vidal opened up about a -180 favorite. That's been bet down to about Vidal -140. And I can see why. Pasquale is actually fighting UFC caliber girls and that are good and is she's winning rounds. She's not winning the fight, but she's winning rounds and she's showing some positives. Whereas Vidal, I don't see what else she does that well. Her wrestling's not great. I don't see her dragging this down to the mat when she wants. I don't know how she'll be over 15 minutes of this. So I think I'm going to go with Pasquale for the underdog upset here. I definitely picked her side last time against Nunez and was wrong, but this is a really winnable fight for her.
Yeah, she didn't look good against Jocelyn Edwards.
Edwards, I thought it was Jocelyn Nunez. I think she fought Jocelyn Nunez the first fight, and they were the
Yeah,
same person.
she fought Josiane Nunez. That's probably the short notice one. And then she fought Jocelyn Edwards.
Yeah.
She didn't look good against Jocelyn Edwards. She looks okay in some of the like Muay Thai fights that I saw her in. But just I don't know. But it's not usually intelligent to pick the person who has not fought in the UFC yet.
Totally agree.
When you can't find something that's good about them.
Nah,
she doesn't really have like a bunch of submission victories either, right? It's she has one and one Kimura, and then she has 3 decisions and 1 win by disqualification. So like,
it's pretty bad.
But like, not all of her only loss is to Carl Hosa, who was 9-3 when she lost to her. Like,
yeah,
that's
Carl
not a
Hosa is very good.
Yeah, she beat girls that were 5-0, 5-1, 4-1, 3-0. Like, they're all shit. If anything, she moved too fast and fought girls who were too experienced. So I don't know. I'm not super worried about it, but I'm not picking Vidal. I'm definitely picking Pasquale.
All right, we got the same one to start. Next fight. All right, Carlos Candelario, Jake Hadley. So both guys winless in the UFC. I think Candelario lost his first 2. Hadley lost his first fight after graduating from the Contender Series and being a big favorite against Alan Nascimento. If you listen to the show, I gave you Nascimento. That was my upset of the week that week. And Nascimento won 30-27 across all judges' scorecards. Jake Hadley his pace is impressive. His overall wrestling game and his jiu-jitsu game is really good. The guy just doesn't stop throwing up submissions or looking for sweeps from the bottom. If he's on the bottom, I didn't see any of that against Nascimento. It was kind of scary. That wasn't the same guy that I was used to seeing. Maybe he was just timid, but he really got controlled. Like he got taken down a lot. He couldn't sweep. He couldn't get any good submission attempts against Nascimento. Nascimento's a veteran, so he was definitely an unwarranted favorite against Nascimento, but he didn't look like the same guy. He didn't have those explosive maneuvers. Like he looked like something was a little off. Okay, that was his first actual UFC fight. He might have been nervous. Carlos Candelario. Yeah, I mean, Carlos Candelario, the thing that sticks out to me is he can't keep a fight on his feet either if he wants. And when he does keep it on his feet, he doesn't have striking power. I don't see many striking finishes. So I expect Jake Hadley to be a big bounce back here. I mean, this is tailor-made for him to go in there, get the fight, drag the fight down, and find the finish. If he struggles here and can't do that, then geez, I mean, this fight's important for both guys. If Candelario loses, he's probably not coming back to the UFC. If Hadley loses, he's also in a danger zone. If he loses bad. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Hadley here. He opened -200. He's about -280 now. I mean, this fight's there for him to win. He's got a lot of ways to win this fight. He can win it. I feel he's a better striker. He's also the better wrestler and grappler. So I got Hadley.
Candelario went to decision 3 times in 4 weeks.
Wild.
Yeah. Two of those were on the Contender Series. He was on the Contender Series. Oh, wait. Wait. Never mind. There's multiple years in between here. I was like, this dude fought on the Contender Series,
I
and
missed
then
that. If you saw
4
that, I
days
missed that.
later
That's
he went to
that's pretty
decision. And
crazy.
what? Anyways, never mind. I don't know anything about this Candelari.
You've seen his. I mean, we've definitely tapped some of his fight. His past. I think he's fought twice this year.
Yeah. Well, one of those was on Contender Series. The other one was against Tyra, and that'd be in that was back in May.
Okay.
So that was when the 22-year-old showed up and then didn't impress us, even though he was 22. I do like what I've seen out of Jake Hadley, though. So I am going to have to go ahead and pick Jake Hadley as well, unfortunately.
Like it.
All right. Ludovic Shaolinian versus Johnny Munoz Jr.
Johnny Moose Jr. Yeah. So Ludovic hails from Ukraine. This is. I don't know what to make of this fight because these guys both are probably bottom barrel strikers for the division. Ludovic is a really good wrestler. Johnny Muniz Jr. is a really good grappler all around. So I don't know how this fight plays out, but this could be really boring. This could just be laying on each other. I don't know. This is a really hard fight to call. Johnny Muniz Jr. is about a -220 favorite. I guess that's just because he's more well-rounded. He's got more finishes on his record. Like Ludovic is straight, wrestle heavy, don't make mistakes, hold the position, try to get ground and pound. I don't know how that works against Munoz. Munoz is a really slick grappler. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go with Munoz, but I'm not really that confident. I don't have any bets here. What do you think? I don't have much in this fight.
I've only seen Ludovic fight once.
Yeah.
That was a fight against Jack Shore. And he didn't look great. He didn't look terrible, but he just kind of looked flat the whole time. They were talking about how good his wrestling is, but it didn't seem impressive. He had one shot where it was very the sequence was very impressive. The ability to have applied that sequence in a fight must be indicative of high-level wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But his ability to apply it with any sort of regularity or consistent efficacy was very minimal. So I don't know what's he going to be able to do. Like, if he's not really able to bring his grappling to light and his striking is just kind of I don't know. I'm going to pick him just because I don't really like Johnny Munoz. You hear that, Johnny Munoz? I don't like you, but it's only because I do like Jamie Simmons.
You pick Candelaria? I thought you were going to pick Hadley.
What?
No.
I meant to pick Hadley.
Yeah, you want Hadley. Yeah. It's all good. What if that's an omen? What if Candelaria wins this fight?
What was that?
What if that's an omen? What if God's trying to tell us Candelaria wins this fight? We should bet our mortgage on Candelaria.
Yep, the whole mortgage. Juliana Viana versus Jin Yu Frey.
Yeah, Polly Viana. So Polly, what were you doing last fight, Polly? She wins the first round on 2 out of 3 judges' scorecards, and then she has these habits of don't really work at the UFC level. Sometimes they work, and then you get addicted to it. Like she just wants to pull guard and look for like arm bars and things, and I mean, she just lays on her back. Like the third round of
Oh
our
yeah,
last
she won't even ever
fight,
try and make anything happen.
I mean, she just laid on the back for like 2 minutes and just took like leg kicks when like, and was just like, no, come on, like telling her opponent to come down. I don't get it. Like your coaches are yelling at like, get up, get up. Like, what are you doing? Like, and you just lose, like giving away this fight, giving away this round. I don't, so, like her, yeah, again, lower level fight. This fight opened about even money. Now Polyviana's been bet up to like a -140, -145 favorite. Polyviana always gets bet up. I really think that has to do with because she's hot. I don't think it had, like if people just saw her fighting, like she doesn't, her only UFC wins are like arm bars from bottom. Again, she throws volume, but she doesn't hit anybody. She threw like 150 more strikes than Tabitha Ricci, but she didn't hit. Her strike rate was like under 20%. So she's literally throwing air. Like she's throwing combos, and the girl is already like completely circled out of range, and like not even there. And she's throwing like she's finishing with like a hook and a kick. Like, but there's no one in front of her. Right? Like, and she's just like I don't know what to get about it. Jinyu Frey, like the knock on. Jinyu Frey is physically strong. She was an atomweight champ, so she's undersized fighting at this. She's undersized fighting at this level, but she's really physically strong, which makes up for it. Her takedown defense is really good. She definitely, you can see like high level BJJ awareness out of her, even though she did fuck up against Kay Hansen in a fight she was winning and get armbarred she got armbarred from top. And she knew it. She just made a mistake. But other than that, like Jinyu Frey, she threw no volume. She's fixed that though, her last two fights. And you could see her like she really landed some power counters. Her volume was up. So she's made some adjustments. I mean, the way Polly throws, like she throws volume at air. I mean, it just makes me think Jin's going to be there and she's going to be able to crack her. Can Polly get this fight down to the bottom and control top? Yeah, I've seen Jinyu Frey struggle to get back up, avoid submissions, but I don't know. Like Jinyu Frey's very strong. I mean, Jinyu Frey's very strong. I don't know if she's going to get taken down that easy from a girl that's not an amazing wrestler and doesn't know how to get it there. I'm going to go with Frey. Again, low fight. I don't know if you can find a bet here, but I'm going to go with Frey. If she keeps it standing, stays out of danger, I think she wins the decision.
Perfect. I think this is a terrible fight, and Poliana Viana is going to win it.
I like it. I like it. No other explanation needed.
No other explanation needed. All right.
It's a terrible fight, and you know what? It just is.
Mario Bautista versus Benito Lopez.
Benito.
I think the Golden Boy was one of these people that had a ton of hype behind him.
The Golden Boy's Bautista, right?
No, that's Benito Lopez.
So Benito has been away for 3 years. Yeah, the Golden Boy. I remember his fights. Some of his other fights. I remember he stepped away from MMA he got a full-time job. He just was done with mixed martial arts. He got some questionable decision nods along the way. He was the benefactor of that. I don't know if that played into him just giving up MMA or what, but yeah, he stepped away for a while. Mario Bautista is savage. He fucking crushed Brian Kelleher, and that's hard to do. Brian Kelleher is a really grizzled veteran, but Mario Bautista just whooped his ass at his own game too. Submitted him. So I don't know. I mean, Bautista's been very active. He's shown a lot of improvement, even if it's all around. Benito Lopez coming in off a 3-year layoff. I'm going to go with Bautista. I mean, he's the favorite. He's growing as a favorite. I'm not going to lay minus 300 or whatever he is right now, minus 350, but he should win this fight.
Because you think he's going to win this because of activity?
All around, I think he's just activity. He's just a better fighter. He's more talented. He's been fighting. Let me see where else.
Hmm.
Uh, it's hard to say. The guy that is three. He's been away for 3 years.
Yeah, and he took 2 years off before that.
Wow.
Um, Strangely enough, they both started fighting in the same year, and they both have big gaps. Mario Bautista took 4 years off between being an amateur and going pro. Um, Anyways, just an odd thing. I want to check his stats before I give you a more helpful pick. Mostly the same everywhere. Only real difference is Mario Bautista lands a little bit more often with a little bit more accuracy. Um, and has a lot more takedowns. A lot more takedowns, but is not really looking to submit once he gets down there.
No.
Uh, Benito Lopez does not attempt to grapple at all. So if we go to the ground, it's not going to be on his terms. I haven't seen a lot of either out of Benito recently, but like you said, he took time off. When was that last fight? Oh yeah, his last fight was 3 years ago. Yeah, definitely take Mario Bautista. I thought his last fight was last year, and then it was 2 years before that. Oof. John's distracted. We had a hold John, and we lost him. Oh, there's John.
No, man. I was just moving forward.
Got you. All right. Miranda Fear the Maverick versus the Shanimal, Shanna Young.
The Shanimal. Yeah. I think
That's a
this is the third time they rebooked this fight, which is rare in the UFC. I figured they would move on, and especially since they fought already, and Maverick just smashed her. But I don't know, whatever reasons are. Yeah, this fight's going to happen. Yeah, Marina Maverick's up to the biggest favor on the card. She's about minus 650, depending where you look. She's over minus 500 for good reason. Shanna Young's been taken down 1+ times in all of her UFC fights. I don't see any, even though she made improvements in her last fight, she's working with the new team. She was able to get the win. She lost the first round against Gina Maz, but Gina Maz gassed, and Shanna Young was able to stay in there and beat her up and get a finish in the second round. But Marina Maverick's not built like that. She can fight 15 minutes, even in hard, grueling fights. Marina Maverick's still a really young, talented fighter. Uh, Yeah, I mean, Miranda Maverick, I think the value still, I mean, to win by finish is even money. Shannon Young's been finished a lot in her losses, especially on the ground. I think that's where Maverick shines here. I think she finishes it on the ground. She wins the fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually kind of like Shanna Young. The losses that she's had in the UFC have been to girls that are pretty good, so they haven't really bothered me. Or they haven't caused me to write her off. But then I went back and I watched her first fight with Miranda, and it was competitive on the feet, and then as soon as they began grappling, she immediately got crushed.
Mm-hmm.
There was no prolonged grappling exchange. Just Miranda smashed her immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of deficit to be made up. I mean, I guess in 3 years you could make up that kind of deficit, but I don't know. I haven't seen enough out of her to assume that she has.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fear.
Shannon Young's career, like she's fought far from bums. I mean, even her, if you want to go back, I mean, she's been pretty active. Like even I mean, she beat Pam Sorensen. Pam Sorensen's a Bellator staple. She's beaten girls just for she's beaten some girls that have been around and like have still fighting in major promotions. But when she steps, it looks like she just like Sarah Alpar lost. That's bad. Crushed by Maverick. No answer for Macy Chiasson. Stayed in the fight. Getting knocked out by Stephanie Egger, like ground and pound. That's not a good look either. Even though Egger's the thing, but she's fought. It just seems like there's just an easy way. There's an easy path to victory against her. Like get her down, and she just doesn't have any bite. I don't see why that would be any different here. So we got Maverick. Fear the Maverick. All right. Oh, fun fight.
This next fight is an absolute treat.
Yes, banger. I think so. Derek Minner, Shayalan Nerdenbieke. Yeah, action. Nerdenbieke is moving up to almost 50 professional fights. The man is a wrestling machine. Derek Minner, this is going to be his 40th pro fight, and he's a submission machine. I love it. My bet here opened up. I think last time Nerdenbieke fought, he's been finished a lot, particularly by submissions. Minner also has a tendency of getting finished. I like under 2.5 rounds here. I think somebody finds a finish. I think this steps up good for Derek Minner. I think guys like Nerdenbieke is so wrestle heavy. He's so wrestle heavy. It's hard for me to think that Minner is not going to have an opportunity to find a submission here, whether it be a guillotine or something. I just see Minner. I see Minner having success here. Like Nerdenbieke is far from Ryan Hall, whereas he can just control someone, and you're always in threat of a submission, so you have to be so careful. Nerdenbieke he's a wrestling machine, but there's a lot of holes there, as you can see. Took punches though. Underdog last time against TJ Brown. Yeah, he took some shots. He took some punches there, but he also lost position a lot of times. But he won that fight. I think Minner's a live underdog here. I'm gonna go with. I got Minner. I think Minner wins this fight.
Minner's the underdog?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that shouldn't be.
I think someone's getting finished here. That's my idea of a bet on that under 2.5 at plus 150. But I do like Minner. Minner by sub, Minner by some kind of finish. I think Minner finds a win here.
Yeah, Minner has a ridiculously extensive career. And I get that Nerdenbieke has a lot of fights too, but that's not the same thing as having the depth of career. He has a lot of fights against shit cans.
Okay.
Like when he was 17-4, fighting a guy who was, when he was 18-4, he fought a guy who was 1-1. Like that. That's not. When he's 25, when he's 24-5, he fought a guy that was 0-0. Like he fought a lot of people that were unacceptable for him to fight. When at 34-10, he fought a guy who's 7-10. Like, right? Derek Minner had the hard road. Derek Minner's is probably gonna smash him. Derek Minner will likely not get the takedown, but will likely win the ensuing scramble. And then, I wouldn't be shocked to if there was a submission.
Man, maybe he finds his back. He gets a back take, something. All right. So, wow, we agree on underdog. We got Minner. Yeah, I think Minner is I think Nerdenbieke here is a false god. I don't think he should be a favorite as he is. He's about minus 200.
That being said, I think he's dope. And I'm super excited he's here, and I want to see how he develops. But he's not going to win this fight.
Okay. What else do we? You know what? That's an interesting topic. Bring it to this fight. Grant Dawson versus Mark Madsen. Definitely seeing a lot of so Grant Dawson's about minus 220 over Mark Madsen, and I've been reading a lot about how he's a false favorite over this. And Mark Madsen is this fight should be really close. Yeah, I kind of disagree with that. I've seen a lot of Grant Dawson. I've seen Mark Madsen's last I think three fights, and he's undefeated in MMA. But I mean, to me, he's so limited in what he can still do. Um, he's
Yeah,
just such a
I agree with that completely. Limited is a very good way to describe Mark Madsen.
yeah. Other people aren't seeing that, like and it's not just like I don't and I'm getting this from I'm looking at popular MMA writers, other people's podcasts and things, and they're just like, I can't believe Grant Dawson's a favorite. I mean, Grant Dawson is a fucking savage. Grant Dawson, Grant Dawson is just as good as a wrestler as Mark Madsen, especially in an octagon, in my opinion. Grant Dawson's a really good wrestler. Mark Madsen, to me, is like, I've seen his wrestling and takedowns, and I see no advancement into a good position. Like, I don't see him holding position. Uh, I mean, he's like, I bet him his last fight against Vince Pichel, and he got the win. But I remember, like, I was terrified. I was like, this guy's gonna get the fuck out so soon. Like, please hold him down. Please hold him down. Like, he has nothing else, like, except just holding him down. Like, and I think, and you've said it before, how what Greco-Roman wrestlers, like in general, they just don't translate well into MMA because they know like one style of wrestling,
They're
and they're just
damn good in the clinch,
yeah.
but that's where that stops.
Yeah, I mean, Grant Dawson, to me, he keeps getting better. Grant Dawson's striking is good. I think people are
Granted,
basing
APT now.
Mark Madsen. He did strike against Clay Guida. He threw strikes against Clay Guida, and he was able to have success against Clay Guida. Okay, he had a different game plan. I don't see him having that success against Grant Dawson on the feet. I mean, he had no striking success against Vince Pichel, in my opinion. I mean, he put together some combos and stuff, but I mean, he was always in danger of a knockout. Like he was, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Grant Dawson is where he should be as like a 2-1 favorite. I think he is. I think he's the better fighter here. I'm going to go with Dawson. I think Dawson wins.
I would have assumed that Madsen would be the favorite, and that we would be talking about how Dawson is this dark horse who's going to come out and actually win this fight. So the fact that people are paying attention to Dawson well enough to know that he's going to smash Madsen, good for him. I know people get super excited by Mark Madsen. I have yet to be impressed by him.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing is, the people, the biggest defense I'm seeing is, I mean, what's the knock? I mean, the guy's undefeated in MMA, but I mean, I don't think that tells the whole story. Like who is he fighting? Like who is he fighting? Who's he beating? Like I don't. Up until like he made a UFC debut in 2019. I have no idea who that guy is. He won with a round one finish. I definitely saw his fight against Austin Hubbard, which was like wrestler versus wrestler. And I remember the same thing. Mark Madsen being this giant favorite, and he didn't win that fight very easy. Clay Guida, different story. He won a split decision, and he kept it on the feet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on Mark Madsen.
I mean, he's definitely good, but he's not. He's not developing in the direction you would want him to develop at the speed you would expect him to develop. But I guess he's 38 years old, so his development is likely going to be slower. But Is he going to have a good enough game plan? Is the old man going to have a good enough game plan working with Cejudo and Captain America to figure out how to beat Grant Dawson?
Right.
Nah, let's go Dawson.
Dawson all day. All right. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Nate Maness. Yeah, I think I talked about Tagir Ulanbekov. He's like that. I think I mentioned he's that guy.
That whole rant you went on?
Yeah, I went on a rant and it's the wrong guy. It's Tagir Ulanbekov. Yeah, even though for all like the flaws I've seen in watching Tagir Ulanbekov's fights, I don't think Nate Maness has any chance of exploiting those flaws and turning this fight in his favor. I actually begrudgingly bet Tagir Ulanbekov at like minus 170, and now he's about minus 220 because I think this fight shapes up really well for him. I don't know how this cut is going to affect Nate Maness. He's going down to 125, and he's billed as like a 5'10" human. So, I mean, that's really, really light. I don't know. Guys just don't do tall guys going and cutting down to that weight. I don't know. I'm thinking of two this year that did that, and they got knocked down in the first round. He also likes to wrestle, and I mean, Ulanbekov is a good wrestler. He's probably a great wrestler. I mean, he's a Dagestani. He's got Dagestani blood. Ulanbekov's striking is better. I think Ulanbekov wipes the floor with Maness. As crazy as
after all that shit talking about his skills, you think he's gonna wipe the floor with Nate?
He either wins a unanimous wide decision or finds a finish. Okay. But yeah, I think he's probably the best. He's probably the best bet of the card, honestly. I don't see much more of a mismatch on the card than this. I mean, this is. I mean, he's just better everywhere.
I haven't actually seen him. I think I've only seen him fight once, and yeah, it was his Tim Elliott fight where Tim Elliott makes everyone look bad. Like, have you ever seen a Tim Elliott fight where?
I don't think I've ever seen Tim Elliott get his ass kicked. You know, where like even though he's been a pretty sizable underdog his last few fights, especially against Ulanbekov. No, like I feel like he's always found a way to at least look respectable. Like he's never gotten smashed.
And he almost beat Mighty Mouse multiple times in their first two rounds. Like Tim Elliott's a bad motherfucker. Anyways,
he is.
So I mean, Tagir losing to him and not looking great. All right, whatever. I didn't see the Nascimento fight or the Bruno Silva fight. But I'm sick of picking the people that you've picked today, so I'm picking Monet.
What? Wow, you're just giving me one. You're giving me one there.
I'm giving you one.
What a guy. What a guy. All right.
Manila Gorilla versus
I feel the other fights are much better than this fight. Yeah, somehow this is like the third fight, heavyweights, Chase Sherman versus Josh Friesen. Yeah, this is like deep on the card, but this is not a high level fight. They're throwing heavyweights in there. Yeah, I mean Chase Sherman, the guy will bang for 15 minutes. He's got good takedown defense. But he just has no striking defense at all. I mean, he just refuses to move his head. I mean, the guy's just, he fights out. He just wants to strike. He'll eat strikes, give strikes. Josh Parisian, not overly impressed with his striking. It's not terrible. But I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to go out and say Sherman's the better striker. They're both not well-rounded strikers, but Sherman's got more power, throws combinations and bunches, and can put your lights out. Parisian, he wants to get this fight down to the mat, and that's how he wins this fight. The problem is Chase Sherman has really good takedown defense, and Josh Parisian is not a good wrestler. So, I mean, this is a coin flip fight. That's the betting line, too. I don't. I'm going to go with Chase Sherman. But I think I think Chase Sherman needs to keep still on the feet. I think he should outpoint him, but no bets for me.
Yeah. Betting on heavyweights never a good idea. um, I would expect this fight to be sloppy. Both dudes hit about as much as they get hit. They both do both of those things a lot. Neither one of them does a lot of grappling. Well, I mean, Josh Parisian is good for one takedown a fight, but one takedown in a whole fight. I don't know, man. Josh Parisian hasn't impressed in the UFC,
No.
but at least he's a real heavyweight. So yeah. Oh wait. Am I mixing him up with the other guy again? I'm mixing up Chase Sherman with who did Chase Sherman just fight? Jake Collier is one that's not a real heavyweight. Chase Sherman's a real heavyweight.
Bandera. Oh yeah, Jake Collier.
Yeah. All right. No. Chase Sherman's got this shit. Chase Sherman is the one from that trains with Alan Belcher. Chase Sherman definitely has this.
All right. Definitely. You're really good at finding. You're really good at finding these pick'em fights and like finding the guy that just looks like he should be minus 500 and smashes.
Yeah, Chase Sherman's got this fight. Yeah. Like I can't tell you why I'm this confident in this fight now.
You're really confident.
Chase Sherman's got this.
It's making me get the itch. I just want to bet it now. I want to put like $400 or $500 on Chase fucking Sherman for no reason.
500.
That's it.
Do it.
Send you 50 as a tip, like for your that great pick. I'm good like that. All right, co-main event. Yeah, this is a good fight. I think you'll have good insight on this fight. Neil Magny versus D-Rod. Good matchup. This is also Pickham's fight. Man. D-Rod coming back pretty quick, right? Fought the Leech, won, questionable decision. But he won the fight. I didn't see D-Rod pushes a high pace. Like if you look at his stats, like even though his stats are somewhat skewed for certain reasons, like he pushes a high pace. I didn't see him. I thought the pace he pushed against the Leech wasn't as strong, maybe because he got hit with some counters. The Leech is a good fighter. I don't know. D-Rod the word is he's a really good grappler. He has really good takedown defense. He just doesn't grapple. He's a 10th planet black belt guy. Neil Magny is also a really good grappler. Neil Magny likes to push a pace and he likes to keep that jab. The thing is, Neil Magny has a reach over everyone. I think he's got the third longest reach in combat sports history. I think he's like close to.
No, that's not accurate at all.
No, I think John Jones has 82.
No, John Jones and Stefan Struve were tied for longest to 84.5.
84, okay.
Francis Ngannou is like 82 or 83. Cyril Gane is like 81 or 82.
Magny's 82, isn't he?
80.
80?
80.
I've seen 82. I don't know where.
UFC, the website has him listed as 80. Okay. Which is long as shit. Like, don't get me wrong. At 6'3", his reach should be 75 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely
his reach is 5 inches longer than it should be.
Yeah. I think So it just dawned on like going back, like we've handicapped Neil Magny fights before. Like Neil Magny struggles with wrestlers. Like he struggles with really good wrestlers, like high
and that's
level
it.
grapplers give him problems. Other than that, like Neil Magny kind of he had a flat first. He definitely lost the first round against Max Griffin, but he won that fight, even though it was close. Um, Neil Magny wants to exchange. He's always looking for takedowns. He definitely delivers good blows too when he gets on top. He's got good ground and pound. Um, yeah, geez, I don't know. D Rod's a guy that's proven that like it's hard to get him down, and we haven't seen D Rod's grappling, but apparently it's really good. So I got to believe he can get back to his feet if he does go down. I don't know how he deals with that. I don't think he's ever fought a guy like Magny. I don't think he's ever. I don't think he's ever been at like a 6 or 7 reach disadvantage with the way he likes to fight. Uh, are both guys lefties?
No,
Okay.
Magny is orthodox. So when we think of Magny, we talk about him pushing a really, really high pace, right?
Yeah, he likes to.
A
Yeah.
high work rate.
So does D Rod.
His work rate is about half of D Rod's.
Yeah, but D Rod is skewed. We talked about it, just because some fights like he like blew people out, like just punches, jabs mostly. Like he just jab, like it.
Really?
So it's a little skewed. Yeah, I think the Kevin Lee fight, like he outstruck Kevin Lee by a zillion. Like I didn't see that same guy against the Leech.
120 to 56.
Mike Perry.
Oh, yeah, Mike Perry, 120 to. Yeah. The
I
Gabe
don't-
Green fight was really high.
So is D Rod stepping up in competition again? Like the Leech was kind of a step up in competition, maybe, and he didn't do as well, but he won the fight.
Yeah, this is another step up.
Okay, so
But
yeah,
the Leech is not a. I don't think the Leech is a top 15 fighter. And Neil Magny is on any given day a top 5 fighter, and when he's not, on Neil Magny's best day, he's a top 5 fighter, maybe even a world champion. And on his worst day, he's a top 15 fighter.
yeah, I could see that. All right, yeah, I mean, yeah, jeez, I gotta go with Neil. I don't know until like I see like Neil Magny get owned by a guy that doesn't push an elite wrestling pedigree. I got to keep going with him. I mean, Neil Magny he
But
kind
it
of has
happened twice. He got beaten by Ponzinibbio, and he got beaten by the dude who throws weird kicks and is in Bellator now. I cannot think of his name. Monsoon, whatever. That's his moniker. His moniker is the Monsoon. Lorenz Larkin.
Larkin. Yeah, Larkin still hits hard.
Yeah, there's nobody else. Nobody else outstruck him. Damian Maia outgrappled him. Dos Anjos outgrappled him. Sergio Moraes outgrappled him. I bet you Mike Ricci outgrappled him.
Chiesa
Chiesa outgrappled him. Yeah, Shavkat outgrappled him.
Shavkat beat him up. That was but Shavkat's different.
Shavkat is different.
Yeah, I don't know. Neil Magny, like coming off those losses, like especially like I remember Neil Magny being underdog or like questioning the Jeff Neal fight, and like Neil Magny just, he went out and put on a clinic on how to win a fight. Like he kind of just has a way of like he lets you know where you are. Like he's more than a gatekeeper, like you're saying. Like Neil Magny's good.
He's super good. Like Neil Magny versus Gilbert Burns makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
And I'm only saying that because I'm like, okay, who's in the top 5? There we go. That's a dope fight. Neil Magny versus Leon Edwards would be an awesome fight. Anyways, I love Neil Magny. I want him to win more than anything. No, I want him to win more than almost anything. And that one thing that I want is to pull ahead of me in the rankings. So I'm choosing to separate here. And I am selecting D-Rod.
All right. Yeah. Toss some fights by the books. We'll see. Main event, we got Marina Rodriguez, one of my favorite fighters, and Amanda Lemos. Yeah, Marina Rodriguez doesn't get the title shot yet, but she's taking a fight. Lemos, let me see. She got that. I think her last fight, she got arm triangled by Andrade and the first round, and then she lost the first round to Watterson she was a giant favorite, and she ended up getting a guillotine sub in the second round. Rodriguez opened up about -150. She's been bet up to about -220. Like, I like Marina Rodriguez, and I don't know if I feel like, but everyone's people are picking her, outlets are picking her, and they're saying she wins by finish, which is I don't know. To me, it's a little crazy. They're saying she's going to finish Lemos. Lemos has no cardio. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't know if Lemos doesn't have cardio issues. I just think maybe she's not the same striker later in fights, but no one is. I mean, depending on how you're fighting is, like, have you ever wrestled? If you're, like, if you go with your striker versus wrestler matchup and the wrestler makes the striker work hard for the first 5 minutes, they're not the same striker in the second and third round because they just don't have enough power. Like, your central nervous system won't let you exude that much power on your strikes because you've got to save some fucking energy to wrestle. Like, it's just the way your human body works. You're not going to outsmart that and change shit. Amanda Lemos' knockdown rate is insane. It's mostly from distance too. Like, her power is fucking there. Her takedown game is good. And another, like, if you look at her other stats, I dug deep into this. Like, she's advancing on 66% of her takedowns and getting a top position. That's fucking crazy. That's really high for MMA. If you study stats, no, I don't know anybody that's that high.
What? You think that's that?
66% advancing on takedowns, like, that means gaining a top position on 66% of your takedowns. That's almost impossible.
In what situation would you not?
Because if you get a takedown, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hold. There's usually a scramble. There's usually something going on. Usually somebody gets up right away. To actually,
if you don't secure position, it's not a takedown.
There's always takedowns. What do you mean?
No, if there's a scramble and you don't secure position, it's not your takedown.
Okay, so but a takedown is different from an advancement.
What?
A takedown is different from advancing to take top position. Eventually, so say you get a takedown and you secure it. Say you secure a takedown.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a position you're not in a position to land strikes, submit. You need to advance to a position, to a better position. It's just like passing guard. Like, you pass guard, you break guard, and you get the side control, and then you advance to mount. So getting a takedown doesn't necessarily. So you have
66% of the time that she takes someone down, she advances to a further
position. And if you look at those stats like that, like, I've never seen anybody that high. I'm sure that has to do with the level of competition, and such, but that's really high.
Where are you finding these statistics?
So that one you can find. I found that on an ESPN Plus article.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you had, like, a website that was giving you these strange.
I don't offhand, but I'm sure I can find it. I don't know if UFC has that stat.
No, they don't. I've never seen anything like that, which is what I was curious about. What website you were using that was compiling?
It was an ESPN Plus article that I got just the regular ESPN, but I'll screenshot it. I'll send it to you. That's how all these. I dug into this deep. But Rodriguez is, her takedown defense is pretty awesome too. And she survives a lot. She survived on the ground against submission artists. but not someone that can ground and pound like no like that power of Lemos. So I don't know. I definitely think Marina has a more well-rounded striking game. Excellent, excellent Muay Thai. So if it goes 25 minutes, I do favor her to outpoint. I, I mean, it's hard to think she's not going to get hit here in this fight, though. And it's hard for me to think that she just finishes Lemos like Lemos is scrap metal. I mean, Lemos is far from that. If Lemos beat Andrade, I mean, Lemos was probably getting a title shot, wasn't she? If
Definitely.
Lemos, yeah, I mean, she was like the shiny new toy. Like thing. I mean, I don't know. I think it's
But
closer.
honestly, that wasn't because that was just because she had 3 fights in a year that she did well in. Like that wasn't she. Yeah, she was the shiny new toy, right? That wasn't. When you look at her overall body of work, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when Jorge took time off, came back, and knocked 3 people out, and suddenly we all thought he was the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Like he went on a run that, like, didn't even outperform his capabilities, but like back to back performed in the 95th to 99th percentile. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
I think she kind of did the same thing where she fought regularly and had A+ performances for her in each of them, and that shot her to the top.
Yeah.
But I don't think that she has the depth of talent to stay at the top in the way that Marina Rodriguez does. I don't think she's going to knock Rodriguez out. And I don't think she's going to win a decision. Mostly because she almost never has. And Rodriguez wins primarily decisions and doesn't tend to finish people.
Yeah, I think Rodriguez does a really good job of not getting taken down. I think she does an even better job of defending submissions and not getting hurt when she's on the body. And she gets back to her feet. Yeah, so I don't know. And I don't think Lemos is going to be able to keep dragging her down, like being there. Like, I don't know if I don't necessarily know if it's a cardio issue, but like I think she just fades like a normal human does after doing high level combat after 5 minutes, 10 minutes in.
Rodriguez's takedown defense is not very good.
It's pretty good though for a thing. I think who are you comparing it to though?
It's 65%.
That's good.
That's not.
I think the average is like 55, 57.
Okay,
So
maybe.
Solid. I mean, but like I don't know if there's any straw weights we can compare it to, like who can take you like that are really good wrestlers besides Carla. Marina fought Carla to that was a really good fight. Carla was just relentless and got her down, and I think that was the first loss of her career. But Marina Rodriguez isn't far off. Isn't far away from. I think what you said is right. I think Rodriguez overall is a little above, and you don't see Lemos catching up enough to, unless she catches her with that one hitter quitter, which I don't know if anyone's ever done that to Marina.
Marina Rodriguez has been taken down in almost every single one of her fights.
Yeah, she lost that one fight to Carla, and that was a split decision, so no one's knocked her out. Yeah.
Almost every single girl that Marina has fought has taken her down.
Yeah, I mean they kept going and going, but look at the stats on all those takes. Like I think Michelle Waterson had one takedown, Dern had like one takedown, but they're like 1 for 10. Uh, so
Cynthia Calvillo got 3 of 4. Mackenzie Dern got 1 of 8, but that's Mackenzie Dern.
Carla Esparza got a lot, so that's probably what skewed the number to make her defense would be a lot better if she didn't. I think Carla took her down a lot.
Carla got 5 of 9.
I remember, so that's a lot. That's good. And probably Ronda Marcos. Did Ronda Marcos take her down?
2 of 5.
Mm.
Dude, if you take out Mackenzie Dern and you take out Carla Esparza, her takedown defense is like 50%. It's nothing special, but she's got good enough feet that it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Like the number of takedowns attempted on her in a fight is not that many, but the amount of those takedowns that she then defends is also not that many.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Lemos is not takedown first. She wants to strike and not.
Exactly. But like Lemos has 81% takedown defense. I don't know if she's not fought anybody, but anyways.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I mean,
not anybody who wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be detrimental for Lemos to try a takedown heavy approach when that's just not who she is. I think that is probably a fast way to gas the fuck out over 25 minutes, unless she finds a fight, unless she finishes the fight. So I'm gonna go with Rodriguez. I think she still gets a. Want to see her get a title shot. I think she's really good. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that I think Rodriguez is likely your winner. I don't expect Lemos to knock her out. I definitely don't expect her to finish her. I do expect that Lemos will secure a takedown, but I don't know how much she'll do with it when she does.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. If you've been enjoying this content, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This time and every time, thank you for being here.